I told her, I told she was crazy. You kill yourself working for us all, but you never complain. You just accept it. You should let them know how you feel. You don't understand, she told me. You haven't had the experience I have had. I could imagine her looking back over the tragic landscape of her life, beginning with the loss of Freddie. She lost that child 3 times over. Once Gloria family took him, again when drugs took him, and again when he became a fugitive. The fathers of her children had abandoned her, and now her children were doing the same. I said, well, I haven't had the same experience as you, but I've learned some things. I know that instead of spending your money on alcohol, you could buy a packet of panela, unrefined sugarcane, and some milk and bread. It would feed us a lot better than you're drinking. But she just decided I wasn't getting through. Okay, I told her. I'll join you then. I'm failing my ethics class at school. Instead of giving me any dinner, why don't you just go out and give me a nice bottle of aguardiente, a very potent alcohol, aguardiente, so I can drink it. Then I'll be sure to pass my test tomorrow. She laughed. Ave Maria, it is better not to talk to you. You could shut up the devil himself. I told her with I help her with my God. I help her with her money now. I also try to speak to my siblings, asking them to visit her, but it broke down into an argument. They still haven't come. I hope one day they will all understand. I'm 16 years old and have been in the peace movement since I was 12. I run child rights groups in several elementary schools, training kids to teach each other children about their to teach other children about their rights. I believe that if children grow up knowing and respecting their rights, if parents, teachers, and all adults respect and protect the rights of children, then we will transform our communities. We could even end the war. I also work with a group of adolescents in the nearby barrio of La Planta. Adults around here are frightened by any group of young people, which they assume just which they assume must be a gang of thieves or murderers. We try to challenge the stereotypes, for instance, by organizing recreational activities for kids in the barrio. But it isn't easy because we have no funds and are working entirely on our own. I've traveled to other countries to represent the children's movement for peace, but I like Colombia better than any other place. It is tough here, but life is rich as well. Overcoming the hard knocks, that is what makes you fall in love with life. Maritza, 17. One foot in violence, one foot in peace. Last Saturday, I had a strange feeling that I was going to die. As I left the house, I told my mother, "Don't wait up for me because I shall be killed tonight." She didn't say anything. My mother and I don't get along. It sounds pathetic to say. My mother doesn't love me, but I think this is the truth. I went to meet my friend Fabio, who had just had a drastic haircut. Very short, almost military. He gave me a rose and we laughed over it. We agreed that if either of us died that night, then the one who survived would lay the rose on the other's corpse. We walked up the hill from Caicedo, which is in the comunas of Medellin. Comuna means communities, but in Medellin people used to use it to refer the poorest and toughest neighborhoods. The heart of the city is beautiful and rich and lies in a valley. The comunas crawl up the surrounding hillsides. The houses are packed close together, almost on top of each other, with narrow roads winding their way through. For 50 years, people have been flooding into Medellin, trying to escape the violence in other parts of the country. But it seems they have brought the violence with them. Medellin has one of the highest murder rates of any city in the world. It has assassins and drug dealers, urban militias and gangs. You can live in the rich part of the Medellin and hardly get touched by any of this. But in the comunas, there is no escape. That night, Fabio and I walked into the territory of La Libertad. At one time, I could never have walked into that area because I used to belong to a gang known as the Mexicans, who warned against the Libertad gang. The Mexicans are finished now. Most of them are dead or else in prison. I am no longer a threat to anyone, but I still have a reputation. People know me. I've fired guns, I've been shot, I've done drugs, but I've also been a peacemaker. I walk two paths at the same time. I wish I could walk the peace path all the time, but something always gets in the way. My family, my community, my past, or maybe just being a girl. That night, that night, that night, Fabio and I went into La Libertad because there was a dance in one of the garages up there. It only cost 1,000 pesos, about 50 cents to get in. The music was blasting and hard, the bass pounding so loud and low you felt it coming up through the ground.